Hi again. I wanted to do a hopefully quick setup video on my new Lilac Large kikki.K time planner for 2015. This is the lilac with gold dots, and I already did an unboxing video, so that will have, if you want more information about what it comes with and a review of what I think about it, check out my other video, the unboxing video, where I do all of that. One quick follow-up, I had shown on the unboxing video how there are glue stains, see right there and there, on the elastic band, and I contacted kikki.K. So far, I contacted them 48 hours ago. So far, not really much of a response. They sent an initial response saying, oh, just peel it off, but it doesn't peel off. They said, if that doesn't work, contact us and we'll get back to you immediately. So I contacted them and they have not gotten back to me immediately. It's been over 24 hours and no response yet. So I will comment if they do ever respond, but so far nothing. Other than that, I'm still really enjoying it, and I've got it all set up how I want it. So let's dive on in. I'll try to slow down talking a little bit so you can understand me maybe. So I open it up, and here's how I have it all set up. This is when I leave it on the counter, this is what it looks like, because this is the main spread that I'm using. So on this top pocket over here, I have a Post-it pad that I've had forever and never really used much. But it fits perfectly right here. It doesn't quite go with the blue and the purple, but it coordinates enough, and I like it, so I have it just stuck in there. I've used it a lot for this video and covering up sensitive information, but it's always good to have Post-its on hand to write a quick note, so those are there. The only thing I have in these card slots at the moment, I have a small of the Ollie clip, the gradient clips, the new ones that just came out, and then one of the purple DNA large clips. I use these throughout my planners and all around the house. They're very handy to have. And I'll include a link to the Facebook group where you can currently purchase them. They used to be in the Container Store, and I heard rumor that they will be again soon, but currently the best way to purchase them is through the Facebook group that was set up for that purpose. So in the secretarial pocket, I'm using this for receipts. Currently, right now, this is my son's birthday is coming up next week, and so I have a receipt for one of his gifts, just in case there's an issue with it. But I tend to keep receipts that for things I might be returning, or gifts, or just any large purchase, so that's where they go. In the zippered pocket, I planned on keeping some pens and writing utensils in there. I'll show you the ones that I use for my daily docket in a minute, but it was just bulking it up too much. So right now, I just have, sorry to bump the camera there, that was awful. I just have Post-it flags I got at the dollar store that I use in my planner, so those are just tucked in there for now. And in the back secretarial pocket, you can see peeking out some chalkboard labels. I use them around the house for baking supplies and for other things that I might need, and the laundry detergents that I make. And I have a whole sheet of extras, so I just have them stuck in there for the moment. Sorry for the brief interruption, had to go tend to a fussy baby. But alright, let's dive into the actual bulk of the planner. So my first page here, this is my daily docket. It's actually two sheets. It is a transparency, one of the old school transparencies that I cut down to size, and then the actual printable daily docket that's blank except for the hours. So this is what I use. As I said, this is how it lays open on my counter, and this is how I keep track of the day. So I'll show you. Hello. I'll show you. It has the days of the week at the top that you just circle what day it is. Then it has to-dos, to calls, to buys, and I use it basically what store do I need to go to. And then an hourly breakdown. It goes by the 15-minute increments. And I filled in from 6 a.m. to 9 p.m. because those are the hours that I'm generally up and doing things. So I got the transparency because I didn't want to print out a new daily docket every day. That just seemed wasteful. So I have these pens that I use to write on them. Oops. They're from the Board Dudes Extra Fine Dry Erase Marker. You can see they have a very small tip. So it's great for writing in a small scaled down box. So I have 4 different colors that I use to color code. The blue I use for laundry. So whatever laundry needs to be done that day. Today is diapers day. We do cloth diapers, so I wash them every other day. So I put that down in to-dos in blue, and then I put when I start them in the hourly. So then I have green and that ends up being the bulk of in here. The green is the color that I have in all of my planners for my youngest, my 11-month-old. And so in the daily docket, I keep track of when he nurses, when he sleeps, takes naps, just because it's partly it's just habit that I've gotten into since he was little, but also it helps me to see how much he's eating each day. If he's getting cranky, it could be because it's been this many hours since he had a nap, and also to sort of plan the rest of the day around when I can predict he's going to need to eat or sleep again. Red I use for fixed events, and it's the same in all my other planners. So if we have a play date or I have an appointment that happens at a specific time, I will put that in. As you can see today, there is no red. We did have a play date, but my oldest is sick, and so we had to cancel, and so it's a pretty open and free day today. And then black is for everything else. So all of my cleaning, chores, which is most of what is going on today, anything else that's not necessarily fixed time, but I'll write when I did a certain thing. I haven't gotten that much done today between the kids. So that is what the black one is for. And so I have these clipped together, I don't know if I said, with another Ollie clip, just to keep them together. But this has worked out. I've been using the daily docket system for a while now, and it's worked out really well. Every day I will every night I will look at my personal planner and see what's going on the next day and go ahead and fill in what I need to do and any fixed appointments. So that's how I coordinate my two planners as far as getting things done for the day. So that is that. The dividers, I'm currently still using the original dividers that came with it, even though my sections are completely different than what's listed. I plan on eventually making my own, but I'm not sure that I'm going to stick in the kikki.K for my A5 planner. I have two Maldens from Amazon that are on the way that I'm deciding between. So I want to have dividers that coordinate with all of them. And since I don't have those yet, I'm not sure what color they're going to be yet. So I'm currently choosing the pink ones, even though what's written on them is totally wrong for what I'm using them for. So behind the monthly view, this is the personal information thing I covered up. I already put in my name and address and such, so I covered that up. But I actually have the weekly in here. As I said in my unboxing video, I plan on using the weekly as a sort of journal, kind of recapping the day each day. And so that's what this will be used for. There's nothing to see now because it doesn't start until December, and it's currently August. But I will be using that as soon as I am able to as my journaling space. So behind the weekly view is my meal plan. I meal plan every Sunday, just to figure out I just do it for dinners because breakfast we kind of do whatever, depending on when people get up. And then lunches, I always just have leftovers, and generally will feed my kids either leftovers or whatever it is that we have that they want. And my husband eats out at work with his coworkers, so there's no need to plan those. So dinner's what I generally plan, and so I don't know where I got this printable. I've been using it for several years, and I used to have it as a standalone booklet that I would have my husband print out and bind at work. But when I started doing a home management binder, I figured this would just be a good thing to integrate into there instead of keeping it separate. So that's what I've been doing. Since I just started using A5, I just started having them scaled down to the A5 size. So I only have, starting with this week, since it's the first week I've been in it. But I always keep all the past, I have enough here for the rest of the year, and I will clip them together using this clip. But I always keep the full year together so I can see, all right, how often have I been making this? A whole bunch. What haven't I made in a while? If I'm stuck, I can look back and be reminded of some recipes and whether we liked them or not. So that's helpful. I always keep them all together just for that reason. And then on this side is the grocery list. I don't use it. This isn't my master grocery list. This is my, all right, I'm going to make this. I've looked through all the ingredients. What do I still need? Oh, I need yeast. So I will write it down here, and then once I finish all of them, I'll add them to my master grocery list that I have on the refrigerator. So it just helps me to realize if I'm making this, I need to make sure I have this, so I better add it. So that is the meal planning section. The next one, I am keeping the address tabs as the same, but I did take out most of the inserts. I currently just have, this is all covered up for obvious reasons, but I have one sheet for my family. My parents, my siblings, and my grandparents, though I know most of their addresses. My siblings especially keep moving, and so I have that just in case. Sorry, my 11-month-old has grabbed the tripod and is trying to run off with it. But I have those here. I also have a small, tiny address book that has all my addresses that I could need. But I was finding that I wanted to have something downstairs as well, just for quick reference if I needed to send a letter. So I have one for my family, and then I have the next sheet is both sides for my in-laws, for my husband's family and grandparents and such, all to keep those all together. Then I use these little Martha Stewart's Home Office with Avery. I got these at Staples on clearance for 50 cents, and so I figured why not. And they have, you can see, you can go onto the web page and use their templates online. So that's what I did, and got little images and such to make them look fancier. And so I have one for medical. The top is our insurance companies and all of our insurance information. And then I have all of our main providers, so our pediatrician, GPs, midwives, a dentist, anyone that we need to reference regularly. So that's all on this sheet and on the back. And then I have another one for utilities, and that has all of our utility companies. Zoom in a little bit so you can see it better. It has all of our utility companies, and yes, thank you. And it has their contact information, our account numbers, just so I don't have to run upstairs to the filing cabinet and look at our most recent bill in order to get that information. So that's all that I have in the address section for now, and that's what's working for us. So birthdays and anniversaries is my school section. Now I need that, sweetie. This is for my son's school. He's starting a new school here in about 2 or 3 weeks. And I guess less than 2 weeks now. That's scary. So I don't have much in this section now because we haven't been given too much. But this is where I'll keep any sort of forms he needs and that sort of information. Currently I just have the calendar for this next school year. I have his school name covered up, obviously. Then I have a class list, and I have the directory just for his grade. So I can contact those parents if need be. So that's all that's in this section for now, but that will definitely expand starting here in a couple of weeks. So for shops and restaurants, I'm using this kind of as my dump section. Currently, I have a travel checklist that I made just for myself and the 2 kids. My husband's on his own for what we might need. And then I have one that's a beach and pool packing list, because we don't go to either very often, but we're only about 2.5 hours away from the coast. So sometimes we'll take a day trip, and we have some friends that have access to pools. So I can just look at that. As this section grows, I may start using A to Z tabs to keep everything organized. So it's kind of like an information section, but currently I don't have that much in it. I don't know why. I guess because I just moved things over to this binder, and that's all that seemed pertinent to move. So to-dos have stayed the same. I'm not sure how I'm going to use these, but I really do love the perforated to-do lists. I keep to-do lists in my personal size planner for everything that I really need to do, and for like household things are already all in there. So it'd be kind of redundant to use this as well, but I'm sure I'll find a use for them. I'm generally good at that. So the last section is expenses, and that has stayed as my expenses section. So I have this printable for monthly budget. I'm not quite sure where I found this one. I will see if I can find it, and if I do, I will link it below. But it's currently blank because I haven't moved everything fully over from my other home management binder, and we're also the start of a new month. But I will fill out what I budgeted for each of these categories, in the end of the month, what the actual was, and then what the difference and any reason why, like if we had a car issue that needed repair, etc. So that's that one. This other next printable is just my annual bill schedule. So it has what day of the month the bill is due, what the bill is, and then for ones that aren't monthly, when they are generally due, what month they should be expected, just for future planning. So I have all of the expense ones that came with the kikki.K binder. I haven't started using it yet, but I will, just because I haven't had time to deal with the budget so far this week. So those are all those. And then I have, these are actually some baseball card. I need that, sweetie. These are some baseball card dividers that I used when I had them in a couponing notebook. And so I cut those down to be A5 size and punched them, and I use them to keep different coupons that I don't necessarily need on me or elsewhere. So I have rain checks, some Target coupons, some coupons that don't expire, and then I have things for different events. I have some free tickets that I got, Cube discounted tickets, and other discounts for stores that I have in there. So I keep those just in my, those are things I've always kept in my household binder. So this last thing, I put this in here to basically as a paper grabber to keep this, because these, especially since they're so flimsy, kept getting caught behind the rings. But I'm worried it may be a little bit too rigid. I have to be very careful to make sure that I put it where it needs to go before closing the binder, or else the binder won't close at all. It was from a picture frame that I got in the as-is rack in IKEA, and it was all scratched up, and so I couldn't use it for part of the picture frame, but it's very thick, as you can see. So I'm not sure if that's going to stay in there or not. And then I have the notes pad. I haven't used it so far. And then, as my 11-month-old is so excited about, I just have a friction 0.5 ballpoint retractable pen as my go-to pen for my household binder. So that is how it is all currently set up. It's working for me now. I'm sure it will continue to evolve as I am using it, especially once I can start doing the journaling pages, and if my 11-month-old doesn't completely rip the pen loop out. So there we go. I hope this was helpful, and I appreciate your watching. I appreciate any feedback you can give me, any suggestions you have for what's worked for you, and feel free to comment and like and subscribe if you want to see more. Again, there will be plenty more planners coming as I am eagerly awaiting my Amazon shipments. So have a wonderful day. Thanks. Bye.